afternoon, PS Unions. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, mga ka-eduk. I'm Judy Ann Emilio Flores, PE3 from Pangasinan State University, Infante Campus, and I will present to you the Group 5E Flag Type presentation of Activity 4 entitled Writing My First Lesson Plan. And I'm going to introduce my group mates in this flag. Miss Laika Munoz, Miss Josephine Bilchan, Miss Daisy Rolla, Miss May Ann Nacorda, and Mr. Charles Igmao. Intended learning outcomes. At the end of this learning activity, the FS student should be able to first, describe the different parts of a lesson plan using a specified model. Second, construct a lesson plan aligned his or her specialization using the existing basic education curriculum. Third, revise a lesson based on the comments or suggestions given by the mentor or instructor. Fourth, cite challenges encountered in writing lesson plans. And fifth, reflect on the feedback received for the improvement of teaching practice. Activity 4.1 Draw Me Out Part 1. The mentor will provide at least 3 sample lesson plans using different models. The FS students will identify the model in parts the given lesson plan. Questions: what do you observe about the format of the lesson plans presented to you? As I observe in the presented format of the lesson plan is an example of a detailed lesson plan, and there are different grade levels and subject, and the presented lesson plan format is well organized. Will make our lesson deliver well. Number 2, describe the parts of each lesson plan. There are 5 consecutive parts used in model presented, and each part has different kinds and positions. First is layunin, indicates the intended learning outcomes or what we call objectives. Second is nilalaman, what the lesson tells about or the topic. Third, paksang aralin, guidelines on the teacher's roadmap. And fourth, pamamaraan, where procedures will task up from the motivation until the generalization. And then lastly, panlinang na gawain, activities and some added methods. Activity 4.2, Draw Me Out Part 2. Request for a lesson plan examples in your respective specialization from your cooperating teacher. Examine and describe how each part was written. Our operating teacher lesson plan that we'll discuss during our observation is the detailed lesson plan. She have a lot of motivation that will catch up the attention of the students, and in the detailed lesson plan have a teacher's activity and student's activity. They interact each other, and the lesson plan that teacher use is well organized and very interesting lesson. Analysis. From a model, which part do you think is easy and difficult to construct? For me, the most difficult to engage, you need to choose wisely the motivation that you will use to deliver your lesson. In the first discussion, you need to catch up the attention and interest of these children. What teaching methods is used in each plan, and why do you say so? In teaching method used in each plan is the discussion. This is the common method in the lesson plan because each of our young learners acquire discussion as their primary source of learning experience. This is enhance their critical thinking to understand the lesson that will deliver of the teacher. Describe the congruence of the lesson plan from the intended learning outcomes to the supporting activities and assessments. Intended learning outcomes, it will help learners to know the goals of the lessons, so that is very important in our lesson plan when it comes in activities and assessment. It is important that is suited to your intended learning outcomes. Create. Number 1, construct your own lesson plan using the DepEd format as indicated in Department Order 42 Series 2016 incorporating the 7 model included digital resources and materials appropriate to the intended learning outcomes. This is our first draft and this is our final lesson plan using 7E model. Number 2, construct a 10 to 15 items quiz with table of specification considering the listed competencies in your learning plan. This is our table of specification. And this is for our reflection. What challenges did you encounter in writing your lesson plan, and how will you address this challenge? The most difficult that I encounter of creating my lesson plan is keeping all parts focused on the goal and objectives of the discussion, because the objectives must be aligned to the task of the students and your lesson. To overcome this challenge, I would consider the revision and evaluation until I had the most in-kind parts that would address the desired outcomes.